Oh shit, it went live. That worked. Let's go. Okay. 30 seconds. Not bad. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. All right, right now we're waiting for Jungle to figure out a little problem we are experiencing, but we should be good to go in a few seconds. We should be good to go pretty soon. But welcome in, guys. Appreciate y'all for joining.
Am I back?
We're
It
back.
it kicked me out. It kicked me out whenever I approved everything to share my screen. All right, we're good.
Is it working now? We're live, by the way. It
Yeah,
went live automatically. Let's fucking go.
that's funny. As soon as I popped back in, or right before.
Like fucking a minute, literally a minute and 28 seconds ago. All right. So it looks like we're good, right? Let's take a moment to appreciate Jungle's beautiful eyes. Jungle, you gotta sell a eye merch already.
I suppose I need to make T-shirts that just have like a set of eyes on the
Just blue
front.
eyes.
Yeah, and just on the
My
back, just my logo on the back.
my audio's a little low. All right, hold on. Let me see if I could fix that. See if I fix it over here first.
I use a filter. I'm using a filter, so I've been lying this whole time. I've got
Is
a I've
that
got a
better?
got a plug in. Yeah,
Hello? Is that better?
it's good on my end.
All right. Let me goop goop goop. What up, boys? All right. I've never done a podcast on my own. Yo, what up, Perk? So this is definitely going to be like a learning experience for both of us. I know you've been a part of a lot of podcasts from, I guess now we could consider it back in the day. Um, but yeah, I've never used StreamYard before. I've never done anything like this other than the few times I've been on like Tony's stream or Alexa's stream or anything like this. So, like I said, this would be a learning experience for all of us here. Ben took all the money, let me die. I'm too used to reading chat. I'm not gonna read chat right now. I gotta ignore you guys. All right, but essentially, this is gonna be pretty much just a test pilot, kind of catch a feel of each other's energy, the chat's energy. See if this is something we want to do live. See if this is something maybe we want to just do privately recording. Today, there's no specific topics. I mean, there is topics I do want to talk about and I would like to talk about, but there's nothing specific. As in, like, there's no itinerary. There's no structure for specifically this episode. So yeah, anything you want to add? Just yeah,
Yeah, we're definitely down to address anything that you guys want to bring up as well. Topics of conversation, things you're looking forward to, things you have questions about, concerns about, all things in the trading card space. Which obviously we're going to be focused a lot on Star Wars, but I know like a lot of you collect other things, and like Poppy, you've been running Stranger Things and SpongeBob and a lot of other entertainment
yeah,
avenues, which I like and appreciate a ton. I just haven't necessarily done myself yet. So I'd be interested to talk about all that stuff.
yeah. Of course. Yeah. Also, one specific thing I do want to talk about too today would be that Smuggler's Outpost drop. That and a little bit of behind the scenes shit we were talking about the other day. I think
Yeah.
that would probably be the most juicy, quick topic we can probably just throw out there and catch a feel with. But other than that, everyone here, appreciate you guys for joining. I see there's 8 people in chat. If you guys have any questions, uh, go ahead and say them in chat. I think the format we are going to do is we're going to talk a little bit, and then we are going to introduce questions, accept questions at a later time, and then get into another topic. But yeah, I guess first off, the main reason why I want to start a podcast is there's not much out there that's specifically about Star Wars cards. There's a lot of like Pokemon, TCG, and baseball, sports cards, podcasts, and stuff. But I haven't found like a good home for Star Wars cards. We were looking the other day. We did find a couple examples and stuff, but I think the angle we have, like I was telling Jungle, is a really cool and unique angle because we're kind of like not just fans of the hobby, but also kind of like shaping the hobby, I guess, in a sense, when it comes to like our streams and going to cons and now doing vending and trying to put content in out. Because right now it's a pretty open playing field, so it's pretty much there's no rules, there's nothing going on other than it's pretty much all here for the taking, and it's whoever does it first. I don't know. You guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
man, preach on it for sure. Because, the reality is there's not anyone doing anything like this. Like we did find some people that had put out some podcasts in the past, but they stopped doing it. And we were like, man, these guys were kind of onto something, and they didn't really continue. And I think it had been like a year and a half since they had posted anything, and so it's like, well, there's definitely an opportunity here, and we're already talking about it. We're already like
yeah,
blabbing about this stuff ad nauseum to each other and to people in the chat. It's like, well, why not like focus that energy and that these thought processes and this information into one like cohesive space that like you guys all can tune into, and we can continue to like ride that lightning. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, like I said, this would be a fun journey. And see, I've been trying to figure out what kind of content I want to provide for this space, and honestly, after a long couple months of going hard in my notebooks, I think I've came down to this type of format. But yeah, to get started in something, I do the first thing, like I said, I want to talk about would be that Smuggler's Run or Smuggler's Outpost drop that we had now what 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
The reason why I want to talk about it, it's pretty much the most recent thing we have. I think before that was just Hyperspace and Galaxy, and that was its own. That's like its own era. But yeah, so how do you feel? You weren't able to get any Smuggler's Run, right? Oh, I
No.
have an official announcement about my Smuggler's Outpost. I don't know. It's Smuggler's Outpost, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like one thing about me, guys, is I'm gonna botch every single word, every single name of everything. So if I say the wrong thing, just know Tony's gonna correct it in the chat. So just look at what he says. But I, the money left my account. I have yet to get a email confirmation of my order,
Hmm.
or like saying like, oh, like like your order is confirmed or anything like that. So as of right now, the money still hasn't been refunded. So if I don't probably get any word by Monday, I'm gonna call and see what's up with that. I have a feeling they're gonna hit me with just a refund. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm
The
kind of
yeah,
accepting it as it is. But what
the
was your
bot
experience
value.
like?
Well, I mean, my experience was a lot like a lot of you who tried to get product during that drop. I shut down. So I'm wired in, hardlined in, running an iMac. I have a very fast computer. I had everything like toned down. Like there was no Wi-Fi. It was all hard lines. All the other devices were off, and I still never even saw cases hit the market. So as soon as, and I'm constantly refreshing 10 minutes early, if not earlier than that, because I'm kind of a crazy person. But I'm just sitting here, click, 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 just like locked in and challenging myself just to even focus to that finite moment to get it to refresh right then and there. I have like, my iPhone sitting up too, like right in front of the computer here, so I can see exactly what time it is. And I opened it up, never saw cases when it refreshed and pulled the page. Cases were already sold out. So before
Yeah,
my page even fully refreshed, cases weren't even available. So it was like they never even hit the free market. And then so I wasn't even trying, right? Because like immediately my eye sees that. I immediately go to just individual boxes and click as fast as I can. And then it puts me in that queue loop, queue loop, queue loop, queue loop. And then it's like sold out. And then I went back, queue loop, queue loop, queue loop, sold out. And I just like got looped and just booted, and that was it. I tried a bunch of
Yeah.
times, and there was just nothing there. So, um, Top's website is has about as tight a security as a freaking fishing net. Like it's it's so bad. Like, and I ended up actually I had another issue I needed to resolve with Tops, so I called into Tops and I talked to the first person. The first person was, and we can kind of tackle that like other thing at some point, but I want to stick to smugglers. I basically asked for a supervisor, so I went up the food chain and I let them know like what the experience was for everybody. And I was like, there's a lot of backlash online right now of collectors and like small breakers, etc., that couldn't get product because your site, you didn't do the EQL, so it wasn't really fair. There was no lottery, and we couldn't get anything like 90% or more. I told her out of the data set that I had observed, there was about a 4% success rate for getting a single box. And I told her, I was like, bots got the rest of it. Like, I can guarantee you. And she was like, well, we have. And I was like, I know you're going to tell me that. I know what you're about to say. Like, you're going to tell me that you have
Bot
anti-bot
protection.
but it's not working. And I told her that straight up. And I was like, you need to take this higher up if you want your website to actually work for the collectors and for these people. Because what's happening, and I told her this, I was like, look on eBay right now. I was like, those pre-orders, they're reselling your pre-orders and they're doubling the price. So they've got 100% at minimum markup on your product because your security isn't good, and it's artificially inflating the market, and it's creating a nightmare for the real collectors.
Yeah.
And I told her all of this, and she was just like, she was just like dumbfounded. You could tell she went from like protecting the company to, oh my gosh, this sucks. You know what I mean? And so then
Yeah.
she kind of sat in it with me, and I was like, I was like, I'm begging you to like talk to somebody about this. You know what I mean? Because it's not working right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and during my stream, because usually well, not usually, but the last, I want to say for sure, the last three Tops website Star Wars drops, I've done a stream on them. Pretty much like a live cop. And like you said, the second I went onto the website and the page refreshed, all cases were out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see the case button go green ever.
Mm-hmm.
Not once, not even on the supposed restocks or, the probably 4 million times I refreshed the page.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was trying to buy like 3 or 4 of the single boxes, none of those orders went through. I kept getting booted out, product sold out. When I started doing singles, that's when I started having like a lot of luck, which is a weird pattern to pick up on because the last 3 drops, I've only done singles. And I've gotten them for sure, and I've gotten them about like 3 to 5 days early from the actual release date. So I don't know if buying singles is a method for the Topps website, but I know for hyperspace, cases were sold out in less than 5 seconds. Single boxes I know weren't on there for that long, but they did sell out really fast. Now Galaxy, I don't know what the hell is up with Galaxy, that shit was on the website for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like 45 to an hour of Galaxy. But they also did add about, I think, 4 new parallels to that set.
It's a bigger print run by a lot.
It's a way bigger print run than any of the previous years.
Yeah, and Hyperspace is a smaller print run, but also I got a case of Hyperspace on pre-order. So like it was feasible. Yeah, like it might have been gone within seconds, but it was at least feasible for some of us to get cases.
Yeah.
So
what is it you think Topps is on some marketing stunt with the pre-orders? Do you think they are purposely allowing pre-orders to sell out really fast by minimizing the amount of inventory available for pre-orders? That way they can kind of create more of a hype around this drop?
They definitely are. I mean, they allocate a certain percentage of product to each category. So they're allocating a certain amount to pre-orders on their website. They're allocating a certain amount of product to their stores and their breakers and their etc. Because that is happening, right? So
yeah.
But smugglers also might not be a very big run. like it might be a pretty small
No,
print run
definitely
as
not.
well. So it seems like it, at least to me, that's smaller. It's a smaller batch, so I can see why they wouldn't allocate very much. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can get on eBay and you can find those pre-order cases, so they sold.
I mean, look at this. I
You
was
know?
just looking at this when you brought it up.
Hmm.
Let me see if I could put this on here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
5,500 for a box of 10. What do you remember what the cases were at?
That's a sealed lot
How
of
many
10.
per? But how many is 10 per case?
It's 6. So technically,
Oh, so
that
it's extra
is
four.
those are yeah, exactly. Those are just loose boxes. There's a case. Yeah, 3,400. That's a pre-order though. That means that somebody secured the pre-order with a bot and then resold it and marked it up.
Well, yeah, I was doing this on stream too. Most of the people are resellers. They're just resellers.
Mm-hmm.
They're legitimately they're not. And again, there's no. I'm not trying to gatekeep and be like you have to be a Star Wars fan to buy and sell this shit. But
Certainly not.
it's just become a tricky game. It's us versus them now. It's not even us versus each other.
No.
It'd be one thing if I was, going against you and other people like you on the
Mhm.
Topps website, but I'm going against the guy who's trying to sell anything. This is
Yeah.
the type of person that if nail polish was profitable, he'd be selling it. You know what I mean? On the same page.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a storage unit right there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
So
doing storage wars, he's doing, whatever he can. Um but yeah, it's unfortunate because like I could understand if 'cause it's scalping. All it is scalping, you know.
yeah,
They're using a technology that is, to me, like what I'm ga- what I am leaning on gatekeeping a little bit is not the reselling, it's the scalping and the bot usage that keeps it out of the hands of people that really care about it. That's really what,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not so much that they're
yeah,
reselling. Like I don't care about anybody can participate in the free market, but it's actually illegal to do what they were doing. They're not it's certainly against the policies. I guess like it's kind of gray area in terms of legality, but I bet if we looked into it, um which I did look a little bit at Tops, that it certainly is a violation of their policy to be using bots on their website. And
yeah.
you can face like, bans. Um and there's so it's like borderline criminal, like, and so that's what I have a problem with, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. And then, I mean, and the worst part, the truth is, there's just so much technology nowadays. Is you can make a bot to make you unlimited accounts, to make you unlimited.
mhm.
It becomes an issue, a real issue where it's like
Yeah,
it's an infestation almost. It's how are you going to stop this?
it's an infestation, yeah, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Disney
Yeah.
has a pretty good bot protection on the website with that whole waiting system,
Hmm.
but then you're just putting bots in a waiting system, and eventually they'll get through too.
They will,
So
yeah.
it's just one person instead of being one person waiting, it's like 200 people waiting for one
Yep.
person.
Hmm.
It's like having proxies in line and stuff. But yeah, so
Exactly.
that was the recent drop with smugglers. I know a lot of people from the community did have a lot to say about it. I know I was being a little kind of I tend to have my own type of fun with my community, and I was being a little harsh that day. But I know a lot of people were a little, not a little, but a lot of I guess you could say devastated that they couldn't get any of this product. But it is a
Yeah.
special product that does feel like once in a lifetime kind of thing. Kind of like Galactic as Antiquities, which kind of makes, to me, Galactic Antiquities a little bit more important now, knowing that there's not going to be like a solo Galactic Antiquities this year. So
Right.
to me, that last one, that is kind of like a first edition, only edition thing for now.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
I
we
could see
should
that.
talk about, sorry,
Uh huh.
go ahead.
Well, I was just say I could see that box being a $10,000 box before the end of this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I was contemplating grabbing one. But we've talked about a lot of the negative things around the drop. What are some things that we're actually excited for with the set. Like, what is the like? Let's look at the set itself and like how it was
Yeah.
curated, because I think I'm really excited for it. I think it's a good idea. We'll see how it actually lands and operates. Um, but I do think that it's a big win for the collector and fan space, because
Yeah.
it seems like the Star Wars people over at Fanatics are really actually listening and paying attention to what everybody's saying. Because to take something and go, okay, well, what are the challenges of doing, Topps Finest, Galactic Antiquities, Chrome Black, and Stellar Signatures? What are the challenges of doing all of those in a year, plus your like flagship Chrome set that's huge, plus your Galaxy, plus your Hyperspace? It's
Yeah.
there's a ton of products, and so there I think there were people that were upset, not upset, but just a little bit sad about leaving some of those sets behind, like leaving Finest behind, leaving Stellar Signatures behind. And it's like, and then they got feedback from some of the artists and things about Antiquities, which was like, you guys can't do this every year. You can't do Antiquities once a year. It's too much. You need to
Yeah.
spread out those drops. It makes it more special, and et cetera and so forth. So then being able to go, okay, well, can we take pieces of these sets and put them into a set that we could actually do every other year? You also have a celebration set every other year. And so then
Yeah.
coming in, and then you have a Masterwork set coming, and we know a Masterwork set's coming like right on the heels of this set dropping. So it makes a lot of sense to do something like this for some of the higher end stuff that people have been a really big fan of.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did notice the only set from this set that we've gotten in 2025, I believe, was Chrome Black and Antiquities, right? Stellar Signatures Finest did not come out last year.
Correct. Yeah, it's been a while since I think Stellar, and it's been since 2023 on Finest.
Yeah.
Right. So I think those were some sets that people really enjoyed. That like, man, are we going to get another Finest set? Like, what's going on here? And I think people thought, well, Galactic Antiquities kind of took the place of Stellar Signatures, and I think they came forward and were like, actually, nah, like, here's both. And I think that's really cool. And it's like I said it earlier on when I first saw it. I was like, this is like a flight of beers. This is like you go to a bar and you don't want to pick one beer. You like all of them, and you get to enjoy a smaller amount of each one.
It's the variety pack.
Yeah, it's the variety pack.
Yeah. So how do you, as from a breaker standpoint, knowing now you have, it's not, I don't technically look at it as having less product, but you're having less types of product to rip. It's all, we're getting 4 releases condensed into one versus that's 4, because as a breaker, every time there's a release, that's big opportunities for growth, big opportunities for there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to having a new set come out. But now that we have 4 less, I mean, I can't speak today, not as much opportunity because they're all condensed into one set. What do you think about that?
And it's a little smaller. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that like we can't expect to do it very much, even though we may want to. But I think it's something that if you are in our position, you definitely have to do some of, especially right away. And then sprinkled here and there and making it kind of a special occurrence. Because it really does depend, and that we don't really know how it's going to land. It's a new product. We don't know what's going to happen when it actually drops, how much more product there is. We can actually calculate the print run. If we look at some of the odds. We could actually calculate the print run and see how big it really is compared to other sets. But then what's going to happen is it'll come out of the gate strong. It'll be overpriced. It'll be under what the scalper prices are. But then it'll drop off. It'll drop off because everyone will have it, at least for a time. And when like your big 3 pick it up, then you're gonna have it'll come back down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how much there actually is. I think it'll feel a little bit like hyperspace did with this most recent drop, where
Uh,
it did
well,
drop off, and then it's going to go way back
that's
up again.
what I wanted to bring up
Yeah.
actually, because the last drop, I love like kind of analyzing and calling out like what's gonna happen coming up,
Mhm.
and sometimes, a lot of times I could be wrong, and I was dead wrong when it comes to hyperspace. I was telling people hyperspace is gonna drop down to 150 and it's gonna stay on shelves on the way hyperspace one has been for the hyperspace one is pretty damn near close to what it was when it first came out.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this is that my brain goes three different ways. Is the hobby booming in terms of like, is there's just that many more people now that there was last year?
Mhm.
Is this set that much better than it was compared to the last set, or is this a fluke? Is it just because I know this hyperspace with the first hyperspace, the 199, there's like two parallels of that, and then there's a couple
Mhm.
other where they had multiple like gold dust and not dust and all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
I know with the new
Yeah.
hyperspace, it's not like that. So the print run is a lot smaller. But again, I don't know what is going on with that set, so it makes me nervous for such a exclusive product that Smugglers is going to be.
Mhm.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want to call out any predictions because I genuinely don't know what the hell's going on. This is the first time we even got a set like this.
Yeah, this one's the
Yeah,
hardest probably. I think
yeah,
hyperspace, the first run of hyperspace was a bigger print run, and they made they made a lot of there were a lot of good things about the set that people liked, and then it was a pilot as well, and they had to pivot and go, well, okay, wait a minute, let's make this set, let's do this set again because there's enough people that enjoyed it, and we want to continue to represent these planets. We like the idea, the concept is good. Let's choose some planets that people are really gonna like. Um, let's get some characters in there that people are really gonna like. Let's make the run smaller. And so what you had was actually, I think, kind of a perfect storm where the hobby is booming. Yes, like what you're saying,
yeah.
like it is going up. You've got a better set of hyperspace with I think characters that people really want as well. There were fewer like
Cold crawfish.
creatures and ships that people weren't really all that interested in, you know.
Yo,
And
don't ever talk shit on my Mustafar lava fleet, bro. Don't start.
hey, I like the panning droid personally, but yeah, yeah, and yeah, I think Tony's got a good point here too with like the cases being smaller. They cropped the cases too, which was smart because yeah, they made a lot of
Listen,
changes that made it a more desirable set. It was smart. They did a really good job at curating this set.
yeah, and also giving Tracy an insert set was a great decision.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a chase within itself. Yeah,
Well, in the art of Tatooine, like
that's
insert
yeah.
set, incredible.
I
Like
want to
so
keep
good.
this one so bad. Yeah, it's
So
really
good.
nice.
Yeah, man.
Zoom in. Yeah, they're nice.
The Boonta.
I I have some nostalgia. I love Hyperspace One. Hyperspace Two hasn't fully clicked for me yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't dislike it, not even a little bit. It's just I just still put one over two for now. Let's see we got some chat. All right, so now that's pretty much our thoughts on Smugglers and just the recent releases we have. If you guys want to chime in on any opinions and maybe what you guys want to talk about, and if you guys want to go over this checklist, maybe me and Jungle could break it down, get you guys to understand what's going on a little bit more. Because again, Jungle is an official Tops artist, so he does have a perspective that not a lot of us do. Because like the whole Galactic Antiquities thing, I didn't know the artists kind of were saying like, "Yo, I don't want to be doing 4x6 sketches," because those
Yeah,
sketches are nasty.
they're big
Those
and they take a
are
long time.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in that regard, like I talked to a bunch of artists and Josh Trout in particular, who had a strong opinion about GA. And he had told them that he's one of the ones that was like, you guys make sure that you're not cranking this out like once a year. It's because it's like that set really has to be given some space to be as great as it is. you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. All right, we got Jedi Lex in the chat. What up, Lex? I think they took notes on what people said about 24, made desirable adjustments, but still needs work. You know what? I will, as far as curating the sets, I will accept the fuck ups. I will accept the misspelling. I will accept them putting mini diamonds on refractor cards, and you know what I mean. The thing that pisses me off is, do I have it right here? What pisses me off is the backwards cards, the missing sketches. Someone, Alan Dorf did a whole case of Galaxy, not a single hit in the case.
Yeah, that's
You
wild.
did something recently, and you were missing autographs in Chrome, I believe, right?
I've been,
It's
yeah,
just,
more recently I've been missing a few things. Yeah, there's
yeah,
definitely I definitely have a big complaint about a policy that Tops has that we can discuss at some point. I don't want to
yeah.
derail us from the smugglers
And
here,
I
but
also don't want to get into just talk about negative stuff like you said
totally.
the whole time either. Yeah,
Yeah, like we'll
yeah,
bring up stuff that's definitely a problem, and then but we want to also keep things really like upbeat and talk about the things that we think they're
yeah,
doing a great job at as well. But we'll talk about all of it. We're gonna cover all of it, like the good, the bad, and the
yeah,
ugly. You know, so
yeah. And Lex says the sorting is rough. Yeah, they're all over the place. It's
yeah.
I again, I could only imagine the logistics they have to deal with. So, do I produce billions of dollars worth of cards a year? No. So maybe
Yeah.
I should shut up. But
They are,
it
yeah. I
is what
think
it is.
if we saw the scale and looked at the actual error percentage, they're probably doing really good. But
Yeah,
I do think that they have grown to a point where they need to improve some of those systems because I've seen it
yeah.
enough, specifically in Star Wars, where I'm like, that's we're like
Well, to be
too
fair,
many.
we're probably like beyond like what they expect the average person to be ripping. I think we're beyond what that number's supposed to be. So I think we see more of the mistakes than we're supposed to see.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the biggest issue that I have with it is that if you're ripping a product with that is more than 365 days after the release, they don't own any errors within the set as a company. That's my biggest problem is that they basically say, well, that it's more than 365 days. We don't care if it's sealed case with sealed hobby boxes in it or not. And what they say, this is what they told me was that they only keep on hand replacement hits for 1 year. They're like, we can't keep enough. And I said, that's fine. I said, that's not even, I get that. I totally understand. I'm not expecting you to do that. What I am expecting you to do is continue to own the responsibility of your sealed product, even beyond. And they started doing that with their redemptions, which I love. That was a good move. 10 years,
The
great.
10-year extension, yeah.
Exactly. Great. Yes, you should have done that. That's owning your product. Okay, well, what if I rip a case of 24 Sapphire and I have people doming boxes hunting the autograph and there's no autograph? And I brought that up because that's what happened to me recently. And I was like, that's messed up because now I have to take responsibility for your product, even though this was a 2024 set. You'd think it'd be perfectly reasonable for you guys just to like either replace me with a similar hit or give me a credit or something, like do something for me, like
Yeah.
um and that was the conversation. She did finally, after basically me like bringing up all this like philosophically as a company, because the first guy I talked to was like, I can't do anything for you. Like he was like literally like he like kept reading the policy to me. I was like, bro, I get the policy. I'm
He's
trying to
like
talk
the
about
AI chat response.
100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, you can't help me. Great. Let's go to supervisor who could probably help me here. And so I talked to the supervisor and I was like, you guys just need to take responsibility for your product that's sealed. Well, sir, but this is our policy. I said, that's not what I'm saying. She tried to repeat the policy to me over and over. And I said, woman, I said, I understand the policy. Stop talking to me like I'm a child. I was like, what I'm bringing up is that there's a responsibility issue here. Like, this is like I was like, listen, like I've worked in other industries. Like the outdoor industry is like prevalently what I've worked in, where I've worked directly with people for Patagonia, North Face,
Yeah.
Piranha, companies, German companies that make and manufacture ropes and harnesses, etc. I've spoken with CEOs of these companies because I was a buyer, because we had issues with some of their products, and I've like had they've always owned their products, you know. All these companies will always own their products. There's an Arc'teryx store in Boulder, and I can take a product they don't even make anymore that's like all beat up and doesn't work anymore, and I'll take it in there and show it to them, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And they'll go,
Yeah.
we can't fix this, but we'll trade it." And they'll say, "You have to give this to us for R&D, and then we're going to give you store credit to get a brand new equivalent thing in our store."
Yeah.
And it's like
Something.
that's like what I'm looking
Yeah.
for, and a good company will do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what I was holding him to, and she finally caved and was like, "I'm going to send you a care package, a Star Wars care package. It's not going to be, necessarily the equivalent of what you might have hit in that case." She's like, "But I'll send you a care package." And I was like, "Cool, that's all I'm saying." That's like,
Yeah.
and I'm still going to have to supply. I told the guys that were chasing the auto, I was like, "I'll give you each an auto." You know what I mean? It's not going to be, Samuel L. Jackson number to 5, but like,
Yeah.
I'll do the best I can with, with what we can do here. So,
Yeah.
it's frustrating when you have like a big case hit like that missing, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't do anything." It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay,
And like I was telling you when we talked about that over the phone, to me, the worst part about that scenario is like, okay, I understand policy. I understand there's rules. I understand there's regulation. I understand you can't just have shit willy nilly or else, it's going to get messed up.
yeah,
But they made the policy. Like,
right,
there's not like I tell you, there's not a council up there that's like, okay, Tops, like, this is the policy that we all, like, different realms all agree that this is what we have to do. No, it's like they decided, you know what, guys, 365 days, we're good. Fuck these
yep,
guys.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah, and they write that into their model, and so that they don't have to continue to own things, because it will affect their bottom line. So they're shaving
Yeah.
that margin. And I told them this too. I called this out. I was like, "I see what you're doing. Like, this is a business strategy and tactic that you're saying, because you're going to save a bunch of money by not doing that." And I get that, but at the same time, like, you guys have a monopoly, and I said that as well. I was
Yeah.
like, "You guys, like, this is why it's actually illegal to have a monopoly, but people get away with it anyway, because it's like, well, Upper Deck exists, so technically, it's like, okay, there are other technical, like, Panini exists, but there's only one real Star Wars card producer, in terms of this,
Yeah.
like, at this level. Like, obviously there's like Card Fun, and there's Weiss Schwartz, and there's Unlimited, those guys, but like, in terms of like real collecting, it's like all Tops, so they really
Yeah.
kind of do have a monopoly. And so they can, like you're saying, set the policy and then be like, "Well, this is our policy." And it's like, well,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. But so they everything came down to the conclusion that they're just going to send you a care package, that there's no auto, because that's my next thing is like, how,
yeah.
like, okay, so say someone doesn't claim a redemption, what happens after 10 years? Does that card get destroyed? Is it like,
They probably keep it.
and
They
then
probably keep
two,
a
like,
certain amount of things.
that's what I'm saying, like, for
Yeah.
replacements, like, how does that?
They have
They just-
physical, yeah, no, they have physical, and they could always reprint something too. Like,
Yeah, but
you know what I
that's,
mean?
you can't do numbered reprints though.
Well, right, but you could do it with the Superfractor,
Yeah.
probably. Like, if there was a damaged Superfractor, like the Ahsoka one, like, this is something
Oh,
interesting
you
that
could
we need to follow up.
recreate it. Yeah.
We need to follow up with Mojo on this, because he bought the Ahsoka Super, the Wanderer from 25 Galaxy, and it was damaged because he reached out to Tops, and they're supposedly gonna fix it. I don't know how, but I'd be curious to see what they do. They'll probably just reprint it. But yeah,
That's interesting.
right.
That's a perfect thing to bring up. Did you see in your Discord what one of the guys was talking about, how he has a PSA 9 of a Kit Fisto
Mm-hmm.
and that same card with the same number, serialized number, is listed on eBay for raw.
Yep. And he has the graded one. Same number.
Yeah, I don't. Let me see if I could pull up.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I hope he doesn't mind that I show this.
He won't
Let me see
mind.
if I could pull this up.
Oh man, yeah, it's crazy because that speaks to one of two things. Well, it could be three different things. It could be that Topps accidentally printed two of that one, like the machine glitched and did it twice.
Yeah,
It could also mean that someone somehow faked one. It could also mean that that the old listing, is just still up, and so
yeah. Well, that's what I was. That's what I told him. I told him because this has happened to me where I'll buy something at a show,
Mhm.
and then I go home and comp it and make sure I got a good price on it. I'm like, wait, I just bought this. I'm like, oh, the guy hasn't deleted it off his eBay yet. He probably hasn't realized.
Right.
But here on the Discord,
honor.
I was just scrolling through last night and I was like, what the heck? This is kind of crazy. So the guy owns this card. Is a 2023 Top Star Wars Kit Fisto Throwback Thursday Silver PSA 9. And the number is 2 out of 5. But then on eBay, this same card numbered to 2 out of 5 is listed raw.
Ah!
So there's something.
There is something amiss.
That's been one of my fears right there. That's a
Yeah.
fear of mine.
Yeah.
I've seen this in baseball where people pull like two of the same, like number 29 of 99, the same exact number, serialized number from the same set. So
Yeah.
we don't know what's going on with this. I haven't investigated. I haven't really fully looked into this, but as far as we know right now, there's two scenarios. The guy graded it, and for a long time hasn't deleted his listing because this is a very niche card, and or Topps fucked up. So don't
They
know.
won't. They'll hold them for. Okay, so Daniel. So this is an example. So with the care package, she did say, the supervisor told me there would be an auto in there. She was like, I don't know what it'll be. You could get anything. And I was like, okay, interesting. And so what that makes me think is like, it could be a hyperspace auto from the more recent set. It could be an old redemption that never got redeemed. But they probably only keep the redemptions for 10 years. And then who knows what they do with them after the 10-year point.
They give you a Shaq auto,
A Shaq
a
auto.
basketball. This is not even.
I would take a
Star
Shaq
Wars.
auto. I would take a Shaq auto any day, bro.
Right? It's just like this is the best we got,
Shaquille,
bro.
dude. I'll take Shaquille. Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Or he's a scammer.
Yeah, he could definitely be a scammer.
Drummer boy.
Oh, I better not get a drummer auto.
Gonna be a bartender auto. Who the fuck's the bartender?
His name is it
I automatically think of the chef
Tonti?
droid.
Tonti?
Tonti?
I think it's his name.
Yeah.
But let's pull up this checklist. We've talked about the ugly things.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
I want to see this checklist, dude, because and maybe we pull the odds too, and we do a little calculation to see how big the print run is,
Yes.
so that we can anticipate. Yeah, Scoots, I think so. What I think happened with that is I think that they misrepresented how many sketches were supposed to actually be in the set on their website. So they accidentally false advertised, because whenever I pulled the odds and calculated the sketch pull rate, it was 2.5, which means that some cases are going to have 2 sketches and some are going to have 3 sketches. So what we saw on the website was that they were saying that we could look to pull 3 sketches, but the way that it was worded made it almost seem like it was a guarantee, which is why people were upset and reaching out to Topps about it. But I went ahead and just didn't do anything about it, because I was getting my 2, but I wasn't getting a 3rd. But when like I said, when I calculated the odds, I was like 2.5 means some are getting 2, some are getting 3. So marketing issue, you know?
Oh, and he says it's Endor, by the way.
Scoots.
All right. So on this checklist, the very first thing that does pop up is the finest base list. Now, I will admit, when I first heard about this type of set, I for some reason thought, is this going to be like the last 10 years of Star Wars greatest? Like, I thought this was going to be like the recreations of finest Chrome Black over the last few years, but from the research I did, this is a completely new checklist for each individual. I don't know what to call, for each type of set run.
Yep.
So this finest is a 2026 finest. It's not a recreation. Maybe they do recreate some older cards, but as far as I know, it's mostly a new set. Same with the Chrome Black base set. So here
Hmm.
starts with the finest, and again, it's pretty normal. You know, we do have the Ahsokas, we do have Padme. I know they've been doing a lot of different things with Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. Right here. Oh, it's not in alphabetical order. I hate that they do that.
Oh, I know. That's the
But
worst.
it's in card number order.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Um,
But do you have any insight on? I personally, guys, I will admit I haven't done 1,000% research on this checklist. The only thing that I keep thinking about is this fucking 20 character auto book. This is what I genuinely don't give a shit about the rest of the set. This is what has me like that's what I think about day in and day out. Is someone, and like Tony said, it's probably gonna be Mama Break's gonna pull both of them, but someone is gonna pull a Dark Side Ultimate autograph book cards with these 20 names on it, and then someone else, maybe the same person, is gonna pull its counterpart, which is a Light Side Ultimate autograph book card with all 20 of these autographs. I
that's
know as a breaker, we are having a hard time deciding how this is going to work. Have you came to a conclusion? Well, first of all, how are you going to break this set? I know I found my solution,
mhm.
but it's going to require work after the set comes out because I kind of need to see what these cards are looking like.
Yeah.
What solution are you looking towards?
Are we talking about specifically for the booklets?
Just the set in general, brother. It's a full 400
It's
character checklist or some shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It is. There's a lot there. I've been working on it. I haven't gotten to a place where I've decided how I'm actually going to break it yet. Um,
Yeah.
but I do think teams will suit it pretty well. So doing like team breaks on single boxes are probably a guarantee for me. And then I'll look at what it would look like to actually do a case break on it. Um, because anytime I do a single box, I can just double it and do a dual box, and there's like some little like knobs to turn to do that, but it's
Yeah.
easier on my end to once I build teams to make tweaks and do changes, do different styles of things. Um, as far as the booklet's concerned, there's a few ideas that have been chewed on, tossed around, brought up, and obviously the odds are going to be astronomical on pulling one of them. Um,
Well, let me pull those up. Pull that up real quick.
yeah, yeah, I see what you mean, Tony, and I think that that's like why having like having teams um, that it having teams raises your likelihood of hitting quite a bit because like how many hits are we going to have per box still, because the hit rate is still going to be good per box as compared to other sets even though there's only 30 cards. So I think like looking at how it like what the hit like it's like if there's 5 hits, you know, then you're
Yeah.
already sitting better than a Mayo box, you're already sitting better than, yeah, exactly. And then having those teams be pretty big, finding that sweet spot. Um, but I do think case breaks are going to be super fun. So doing the hybridized case breaks, I think that list where it's not a massive list, but like if you could parse it down to about 100 would be pretty good, or even 85. Um,
Yeah. Well, the good thing is a lot of these characters are dupes. Like Ahsoka's on, I think, on each
Exactly.
each set, Anakin. You know what I mean? So that is beneficial.
Yep.
The way I was looking at it is, since these are going to be all like PNGs from the movies, like a Chrome set or something, then each character is going to be from a specific movie, which is in a specific trilogy or show. So the way I was thinking it, just to make it easy for like a single box break, would to sell original trilogy team, prequel trilogy team, sequel trilogy team, and then Disney Plus team. And basically, like, if it's Darth Vader from Empire Strikes Back, that goes to boom. If it's Darth Vader from Rebels, that goes to the Disney Plus, whoever owns that Disney Plus section. Because I think that's just the best way to kind of like block it up into something simple. And then for the sketch, I think, like I was telling you in chat, anyone who, it's such a hard thing to pull, and it's such like there's 20 names on it, that I think anyone who buys into a break gets an automatic ticket to that wheel spin. If you pull that goes to a wheel spin to everyone who's on that break.
That's what I'm leaning
luck.
towards as well.
Yeah.
That's like more what I'm leaning towards as well. That's like what I did with the Carrie Fisher auto. Whenever I gave that away as a buyer's giveaway, I ran a break, and it was like breaks that night or whatever. And it was like everybody who bought into the break, each team you had was a lottery ticket for that Carrie Fisher. And that's a great way to do it. There's some other ideas that were thrown out there as well. Yeah. But I think that's probably the most fair way to do it. Everyone has a shot at it, you know?
Yeah, because if you put just the 20 names in a wheel spin, I guess that would incentivize people to try to get those names, because it's like you got a 1 in 400 chance to pull the name, and then you got a 1 in 20 chance to win the sketch if you. But like, what are the odds of either of us fucking pulling it? So
not good, but
I don't think it's worth stressing over.
I'm not stressing about it, because at the end of the day, like, if it gets pulled, I can immediately just download the break list and be like, everyone's in on it. Here we go. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's like literally the easiest and most fair thing to do. So,
and if Mama pulls it, you can just give up, I guess.
Well, if Mama pulls it, then we can all just tell everybody that it's rigged, you know?
Influencer case.
Well, everybody will know it's rigged at that point. You know what I mean?
So for the odds, it looks like it's 1 in 22,170 packs. Now, since it's 1 pack per box, I'm assuming that means there's only 22,170 boxes, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
now,
divide that by 6.
I'm not a genius, but if we did 22,170 divided by 6, that means there's 3,695 cases of it.
That's correct. That would be the number. Yep.
Yeah. So
it's about 4 times bigger than Galactic Antiquities in terms of the run.
How much was that? 15? How big was it? I thought that was 3,000 boxes.
Oh, I thought it was only 1,000. Oh, my
I think but it's only 1 box. This is cases, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They call it a case. They call it a case.
The Galactic Antiquities box is a case, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we got the Mandarian. Hello, everyone. First time listening to the podcast. Appreciate you. This is our first time doing the podcast. So, hey, it was meant to be, brother.
Right.
I'm excited for the sketchographs.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jungle's the one who put me onto sketchographs. I did not even know what a sketchograph was until I caught myself waiting in line for like 4 hours one day so we can get those done. All right. So we were talking about this in Jungle's VC the other night, potentially beating the Kurosawa. What's beating the Kurosawa?
The booklet autos, like in terms of being.
Oh, in terms of sale, like
yeah.
I mean, I forgot the page's name, but remember that one account that pulled that it had Chewie, which the Peter Mayhew had Chewie, Luke, Han, Leia, Vader. I think all on one card. It was
there were booklets in GA that had those.
Okay.
And those sold for quite a bit, but they weren't as big as these in terms of like the amount, but they were also very classic. We'd have to look those up. But yeah, that's the only comparable thing. But
so you guys think that 2020 booklet auto is going to go for over $100,000?
Could. Definitely could.
I think it could.
It was
I think it could.
speculation, but yeah. Yeah.
So hello, I have a question for both of you. Do you both think Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan? The great old question, huh? The great old question. What do you think, Jungle?
I think he could definitely be great, but the problem is we're all gonna know it's Keanu Reeves. That's my problem
Yeah,
with it. Like, yes, I can see it for sure. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
John Wick.
It's John Wick. It's John Wick as yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
but it also at the same time, in my mind, would take me out of it because it's like I know that's Keanu, and I would like to see it be somebody we don't know. That's just me. Um, there's a lot of great actors out there that are on the come up in the next 20 years that could play a great Revan. Um,
yeah,
you know, that would have already studied, Keanu, and known a
yeah.
lot of the reasons why we think Keanu would be great at it. So anyway, I'd like to see it be someone else, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think it's a good idea because Revan is a masked character, and we can't have unmasked Revan that much, at least Darth Revan wise.
Yeah.
So I think we've had a lot of bad experiences when it comes to helmeted characters having like big roles and stuff, like the whole Dave Prowse situation and his Vader voice being taken over, and then obviously people have the problem with Pedro Pascal not being in every single freaking Mando scene that he possibly could be, which makes sense money wise and filming wise and everything. But when it comes to Keanu, I don't think it's worth spending all that money just to put him in a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be tough because like it would definitely have to be multiple people regardless because it's like especially if you start covering that storyline that takes place in the book, like where he and we're getting off topic here, but I'll say this and we can get back on
Yeah,
topic. But when he's with Bastila Shan and he has no memory of the mask at that point, and it's this whole thing. It's a whole thing where he's maskless and
yeah,
kind of like, and then he goes back to the mask. He puts the mask on, and all the memories flood back, and it's this crazy thing happens. But
yeah.
which would be cool. It'd be a cool story to tell. But um, anyway, I'd like
Well,
to.
they got here. They got one more. Well, before we move on, they got just to
Yeah,
please the
yeah,
crowd.
yeah.
They got one more lore question.
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's get this one out the way. I've heard that Abeloth might be coming to Ahsoka season 2, and Natalie Portman might be returning as Padme, and Abeloth will take her form to deceive Anakin.
I've heard this. Yeah.
I've heard this too, and I hate to be that guy. I just don't want to even 1% get excited over something like this. Natalie Portman's never coming back in my eyes, and if she does, it'll be the greatest time of our lives. But until then, I'm good.
I did see an interview recently where she was asked, and she is open to doing something. She said that she would do it.
Yeah,
So, I always find that interesting when people ask because there's certain things that actors dodge with, and she and Tamira both dodged recently in ways in which um, actors dodge when they're keeping secrets, and they have to keep secrets because that's what they are being paid to do, and they have to sign those NDAs, and they can't disclose any of that information. And when they're asked point blank about it, they have to have pre-programmed responses, like, oh, I haven't gotten the call yet,
yeah,
or whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like, what call are we talking about? You know what I mean? So anyway, Tamira said that a bunch. But I could see him showing up in freaking Mando and Grogu, but like, I'm not getting my hopes up about that either, you know,
yeah.
but I could see Natalie showing up again.
I'd love it, man. That'd be great. I would love to have a new PNG Star Wars autograph.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
What we got? So it's been about an hour. I'm not saying we have to get off or I gotta go or I'm rushing anyone off. I would like to keep the shows around this time. So I personally have nothing important to get to. So I will leave the floor up to you, Jungle. And then I think Bryant has something to say after. So anything else you would like to talk about? My blue eyes, sexy freak.
I had something, but it's I think just thinking about the excitement of the Smuggler's Outpost set and looking at, can we pull the designs real quick? Can we get one last
Yeah.
look at this before we kind of like wrap that conversation up? Because we've looked at the odds.
Yeah, and
Let's look at
please make sure you help me stay on topic because my ADHD will bounce around this room like no other.
totally. So
So yeah.
let's look at two things. Let's look at what are some things we can pull. Obviously we got these crazy triple autos, the stained glass, the stellar signatures, the galactic funks, the cortosis autographs,
Yeah.
the power of the force here. They're all looking pretty darn good. What are you guys excited to hunt? I know a lot of
Yeah,
people
this set's
said
gonna have
they
a lot
like,
of cool. Uh-huh.
a lot of people like this stained glass insert set that Finest did here. So I am really
Yes.
digging. This is definitely something that I'm digging in this set is the Galactic Funks, because it's a bunch of like random musician aliens from the Star Wars universe, and they're all musicians, and I just find that to be like
That's
really
sick.
freaking cool. That's, I think, just kind of like the one of the things you're not going to see in any other set that I'm excited for. So I'd be interested to know what you guys are hyped to hunt as well. Lex says funk and stained glass. Yeah.
Yeah, the stained glass looks really nice to me, and I'm a big music guy. I just recently decided I wanted to collect all the autos of the Max Rebo band. So this is a
Sick. Yeah.
good little insert set for me.
What I know there was a question earlier that we didn't address as well, and this was when we had the odds pulled up, but what's the collective opportunity to pull a sketch per box? So it's been a little vague where it's like we're gonna get 2 or 3 autos or sketches per box. It's like, but like we don't really know. So what are our sketch opportunities? 1 in 3 boxes has a sketch card. Okay, that's like your base sketch, and then it goes
So it's
straight to
like two
gold
per
foil.
case.
So, but if you take and combine all those odds, so take all those odds and combine them together and rerun the odds, because it'll actually be better than 1 in 3 because of that. Does that make sense? I
Yeah,
always do
hold
this.
on.
I always will grab them.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 categories right here.
Yep. Go from Sketchograph down and then put all of that in chat GPT and then ask it to give you overall odds of pulling a sketch.
Hold on. Boom, boom, boom,
Nah, he could do it.
boom. Boom, 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 boom.
It'll be like 1 in 2 probably, or 1 in 2.5. So it's like 1 every 2 or 3 boxes you'll pull some type of sketch. So, but if you look also at the
It says
autograph,
what? It says 0.38% chance of pulling a sketch. So you have a 38.36 chance per pack to pull a sketch.
it's pretty good.
It's roughly 1 in 2.5 packs.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So you're gonna pull 1 every 2 or 3 boxes. Yep.
So you
Okay,
could have 2 to 3 per case.
Yeah. 2 to 3 per case.
I see the smoke in BP's ears. Yeah. Doing math, baby.
Yeah, like the grinding the gears too hard. What's all right? So then, what are the autos? Scroll up. I want to really look at this real quick because I want people to really know what they can expect. The auto pull rate 1 in 2 on the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. We haven't even seen what that looks like yet. So that's an insert set that we don't know anything about yet. Finest Jedi Knights. We haven't seen that either. You're going to get 1 in every 2 boxes. So they'll probably alternate here. Like in 1 box, you'll get a Jedi Knight. In 1 box, you'll get a 20th anniversary. In 1 box, you'll get a Power of the Force. So you'll expect to get like 3 of those per kit,
Damn. Yeah.
right?
Huh.
So it'll be like alternating
Yeah.
for all those. Then what about autos here? Because there's a few different types of autos as well, and you have to kind of factor those in.
Chrome black autos. Every other pack.
Every other. Finest auto, 1 every 3, same as sketch rate. It's just going to be so weird. It's hard to visualize this. Stellar Sigs, 1 in every other. It's hard to visualize.
Well, it's 2 autos per box, right?
How it's going to land. That's what it seems like.
I think it's like a relic auto and a regular auto, right? Some shit like that. I don't know. Or maybe that's the Stranger Things. Again, I'm confused my shit all day.
Triple autos are 1 in 2,000. That's not too bad, actually. The pull rates, because you have silver frame, gold frame, and printing plates. Wow, on trio autographs. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. The Cortosis are going to be harder to pull, even just the purple foils.
The that so 1 in 38 packs. So
for a base one.
So it's like a case hit.
Well, but you've got it's like a.
Oh no, there's only 6 per case. What am I talking about?
It's like 1 in every 6 cases.
Yeah.
A little more technically. It's like 1 in every 6 or 7 cases. Yeah, it's a long shot, bro. Like, oh, and in fact, what's interesting is that it might actually play really hard in a positive direction to do loose boxes of this set.
You think
like,
so?
It could.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Herc. It's gonna be we can't say it's gonna go good or bad, man. We just don't know, Herc.
No,
we really don't know.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to see right here. How big is the auto list? Okay, holy shit.
You know what I think's gonna happen too?
General Bernardi, Commissioner. I guess Christopher Lloyd's not bad. Well, what's gonna happen?
I think one more thing that's gonna happen. Okay, so when did Masterwork drop last year?
A little bit before we went to ICC, so I want to say in April.
It was right on the tail end of Celebration. It was like right when we were coming home, or like honestly, I think it dropped while we were in Japan.
It did. Yeah, I think it dropped the day I left to Japan.
Yep, and so that happened then. So that was in April, right? That means that pre-orders. When did pre-orders happen then? A month before that.
It must have been March. Yeah.
March. Okay, so we're about to get this set dropping in March, and then if they do things the same for Masterwork, it's going to happen exactly like Galaxy Hyperspace, where we're going to get Smuggler's Outpost stacked with Masterwork, and so that's actually going to be pretty interesting. They might give it a month, but I could see it being stacked.
Where does High Tech fall in on this, you think? Because that should have been out already.
So it should have been out if they were going to actually do it this year, unless they pushed it to later in the year. I have the scoop on what sets artists are working on, and I have not been told that any artists are working on a High Tech set. And there are sketches in High Tech. So unless they're running unless they're running a sketchless set, which I doubt at this point with the popularity of sketches, either they're pushing it later in the year or they're skipping this year. Yeah,
that's my fear right there, man. That's my fear. Is this set going to replace a couple?
Yeah, I think there has to be a give and take, I think, because Topps can only print so much product at this point in time. If they make some of the acquisitions that they're looking to make, they're going to have more ability to print more sets. And so we're going to be eating even more. But as of right now, I think that they're having to push-pull, and that's why I think they did run a crop set of all 4 of these. Like, we can't do all these, but we could crop, and do a combined set, and then still hit Masterwork because we know that one's coming, and then we can also still hit there will always be a 26 chrome upcoming. There's going to be a 26 Galaxy. There should be another hyperspace later in the year. But
Yeah.
that late springtime, I don't know what we're going to get, because we're not going to get a celebration set, right? So you're getting this set, you're getting a masterwork, but then what's going to
Oh.
happen? What's going to
Yeah,
happen
huh?
before 26 Chrome? Well, it could be another set of high tech.
Yeah.
I hope they fit it in there. To be honest, they're just pushing it. So
Hmm.
that's my hope.
Interesting.
Hmm.
W- What are your thoughts? Just a real quick. Do you think the format for Sapphire Chrome is going to continue into this year, where they're going to duplicate a set?
I hope not, but that seems to be the model across the brand. Um, they've done it
Because they
with
did it with
Marvel,
Marvel, they did it with SpongeBob,
SpongeBob, yeah,
Disney.
and
Yeah,
yeah, and so I kind of think that they're committed to doing it that way, which I'm not super thrilled on, but it does open up opportunities for other things to happen, because it provides a second set, sort of, without having to redesign an entirely new set. Because if they had done a 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith Sapphire set, um, it it would have been an entire undertaking, and they'd have to print an entire set. They'd had to
yeah,
design it, print it, market it, push it. Whereas with the 25, they could like roll them out back to back together, and it's way more cost effective for them, which is why they're doing it across the whole company. And so I think they're going to do that again. Personally, I think they'll stick to that, but it does, like I said again, free up the landscape for them to do some other things. And it does offer the opportunity. I mean, you could see Revenge of the Sith has still gotten that 20th anniversary love in a bunch of sets. We're seeing it in this set in Smugglers. We saw it in Galaxy. Um, and yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I would have liked to seen a Sapphire set for it, but we can't get everything, I guess.
That would have broke the website for sure, though. You know that would have been that'd be a $700 hobby box right now. That would have
Maybe,
that would have
maybe.
broke the app.
Hmm.
But Tactics says I've called 7 car shops in a 3 hour radius of me, and none are getting them in. I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think so, Tactic. I don't think this is going to be a an allocated set to the
Mhm.
third party retailers. I think
Uh,
this is gonna be direct from Tops into like their big guys like Blowout and shit.
mhm.
But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be one you're going to be able to go pick up anywhere. Unless you're like, I don't know, maybe they'll get them after the fact. Like they'll just pick them up just to have a few, like a shop like Awesome Card Shop in Vegas, or like
yeah,
Burbank or something, and
eventually, yeah, because after a while we started seeing Galactic Antiquities laying around every
exactly.
now and then. Oh,
Hmm.
yo, but what up, Optic? Appreciate the good comment. Always nice to hear from a fellow con member. Whoa, that sounds crazy.
Fellow con man. Heck
So
yeah.
get into the salty spittoon.
Heck yeah. Well, I think there's
But
always more things that we can discuss and talk about, but we want to try to do this frequently. We want to try to do this once a week and dive into topics and talk about what's on our mind. And uh,
yeah,
in order to do that, we're going to have to keep these, put some boundaries on these, and keep them, short and sweet. And then hopefully, as we go along, we can do longer ones if we have the opportunity for it,
of course.
for sure.
But yeah, guys, that's a quick. I mean, we literally said we don't want to think about this too much. We don't want to overdo anything. Let's just press live and go and see how it goes. And honestly, I think that was the best decision we could have made. And this worked out about 20 times better than I expected it to. So appreciate for everyone who came to hang out with us. There is a little bit of info I'd like to give you guys. This is not the home of the uh, of our podcast. We will be working on the branding and making a new channel and getting all that situated for you guys. So don't get used to coming here for this kind of content. Once we get all that situated, I'm pretty sure Jungle will let you guys know in his Discord. I'll announce it in my stream, his stream, and then we will also be posting about it on Instagram. That's one thing. So again, new channel. That channel is going to be dedicated to this podcast and this podcast only, and whatever we decide to do together. And obviously, we would love to get Tony on here, Lex on here, Pop, Tactic, Synth, all our fellow streamers. Eventually, throughout the however long we do this, that'd be a really fun time for all of us. And the second thing is, by the next time we see you guys, we should have our, I don't know if it's gonna be a Patreon or a website or what it is, but we are working on the back end to bring you guys some personal value. So for those of you who are in the hobby that like buying, collecting, selling, trading, this Patreon will be specifically for Star Wars cards and tops. So if you ever need help with your stream, you ever need help with your, if you're a sketch artist, if you ever need help with maybe managing inventory, whatever it is that has to do with your card collecting journey, this is a space where you can come and you know, collab and get some ideas and have a one-on-one conversation with people who, like, you know, Jungle and myself and other people in our circle that are doing the thing that you probably want to do. So yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, appreciate every single one of you who came to hang out. I think at one point we had 22 people in here, which is again 22 times more than I expected. So thank you. And I could sit here and ramble my ass off, so I'll leave it at that, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all, man. We're excited about this, and we are hyped to hear you guys' ideas and to share ours as well. So thanks for being here, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah, and I will edit this down, and we will be uploading videos on Mondays. And I'm going live in about an hour on this page to do some Resident Evil 9 gameplay. New game comes out tonight, so that's gonna be fun. I'll see you guys there. Other than that, we'll see you guys on the whatnots. Bye. Not